All right then, welcome to our ICC Express, ICC Key Works training webinar for Monday, March 16th, 2015. I'm your host, Hugh, and I'm real glad to be with everyone tonight. So what we're going to do today, it's a little bit different because I've done a lot of these demonstrations before, but I've never actually done it, like on a serious website. Or I have, but what happened was that I was sharing them. I think that when I share these websites, they get open for negative SEO and things like that, since I have just a little bit higher profile than a lot of people that are doing this kind of thing. But you know what? I'm going to cast my fate to the wind. I'm going to do it again today. And basically, I'm going to start a brand new website that's going to be, I'm going to treat it with some seriousness. And I'm going to put real content on it, and I'm going to try to see what I can do with it. And I picked a kind of a topic that I hope I don't offend anyone with this topic, but, I've always really been interested in, like, paranormal stuff, That could be anything from certainly, the spirit world to UFOs to space aliens to, strange phenomenon on the Earth and all kinds of stuff like that. I've always watched, I enjoyed Leonard Nimoy's In Search Of program. I enjoyed Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious World. There was a program called Sightings, and how awesome, SL. So I got a few people there on the same page, and I definitely don't mean to offend anyone with that because I'm not trying to push any beliefs on anybody or anything. It's just like a real interesting thing that I've always been. The other thing I've always been fascinated with is like conspiracy theories. I was sort of the JFK expert for a long time, but I kind of gave all that up a while back ago. And I just like to make money now and have fun, not worry about all of that. Paranormal Demon says paranormal would not describe a marriage. Well, that's a good one. Anyway, so the idea, so I went out and I went in searching for a domain today, and I just said, let me just get a new domain and see what I can find along these lines. So I went to my favorite neighborhood domain registrar, and I just thought of some phrases, and I thought, okay, I wanted this to be like something beyond strange, paranormal. So I just put beyond strange, paranormal into the search, and that term was actually available, beyondstrangeparanormal.com, and there are actually quite a few other ones as well. What I did end up getting was beyondparanormal.com, and I did register that for 2 years with privacy. If anyone from Google is on this call, then you know who it is. It's me. Hey, Martin. So that was the domain that I picked. I got it set up. I set up my DNS. I got my website running. So I figured tonight what I would do with everyone on the live call here is just sort of explore this topic and see how I might start setting up my website and ultimately get it programmed into my profiles on ICC Express and so forth, so that I can curate content. And that's the cool thing about this particular niche, right? For one thing, by picking this broad of a term, I can actually cover a lot of different niches, right? I can cover well, like all the things that I mentioned before, and we'll go through that and we'll explore that. But also, I'm on Facebook all the time, and I always see these things pop up, but that's because I subscribe to other pages that have stuff like that, UFOs and weird stuff like that. So I see how many shares are done with these things. It's an extremely popular area, right? Whether you like it or not, there's like tons of people out there that are just fascinated with it. And so theoretically, I could start at this website and then I could just get content and find the content anywhere, because you find these things on the trending charts, you find them in YouTube. Every time I go to YouTube, YouTube shows me about 10 new paranormal videos that I've never seen before. So I could be curating those to my website, and then I can actually create, I could do something like Upworthy or something like that, where I'm just like offering this cool content, 1 byte per page, right? And then we can take that page and then share that on Facebook and even boost the post or whatever to get more of an audience. And so there are a lot of ways that we do that. Then you retarget them, and it just goes on and on. So I have all of this in my mind, but it all starts with, you know, creating that website and then inventing basically the content of the website. And, you know, I've really been coming to a lot of interesting, you know, philosophical thought patterns lately. And one of them is that, you know, I think forgive me, but it seems like we're all chasing the money just a little bit too much with our websites, rather than, you know, enjoying the content, you know, getting some satisfaction out of putting good content. And that's, in fact, that's what makes people enjoy your content more, is when you actually do that, rather than saying, it just seems to me like a lot of people are kind of trained to feel like, you know, I have to put this gadget on my website, you know, I have to get this latest plugin, or I have to get this latest thing, or put an ad on my website, or I have to monetize, quote unquote. And the thing is, you know, they have we're all trained to think that if we get that gadget and we install it on our website, it's going to turn on a spigot that puts money into our bank account. And that just is not the correct, that's not the truth. You know, that's not the reality of the situation. In fact, that's, you know, the monetization, the gadget, is only a convenience to help you get what you've already got coming in, right? So if you don't have it coming in at all, then putting those things on your website is not going to do anything for you. So the idea is to, you know, get traffic, get interest, get interaction, you know, get a buzz going and all of that. So that's really what I'm thinking of here, because, you know, me, I'm like red-blooded American guy. My wife likes to call me gringo. And so, you know, I enjoy all the normal weird, crazy stuff. I'm not really that much into celebrity gossip. I'm not going to be out there trying to sell weight loss products too much. Although I could recommend one that really works great. It's the Ganoderma tea. It works awesome. So I could you know, think about doing a website about that, because I've had some experience with it. I could really get a true message across. But I do find myself fascinated with this paranormal stuff, and YouTube just sucks me in every time. When I go to YouTube and I'm getting ready to upload some training for you guys or something else, and I see some article about the latest UFO sighting, or you know, ghost caught on video or something, you know, I'm definitely going to check that out. And when I'm not under pressure, I might spend a lot more time looking at that than I even want to, you know, think I should be spending time on looking at that stuff. So, you guys with me so far? Everyone hanging on the edge of your seat and ready to move on to getting some work done now? Let me see a 1 or a yes, or whatever you want to put in there. All right, awesome. Okay, all right, guys, because there's a bunch of work to be done, right? We're going to make this happen. We got to do some work. The first thing I guess I'm going to do, we try to do the recordings every week, Piotr. So you can look forward to an email about that. So what I'm going to try to do is come up with some of the broader subcategories for this website. And gosh, it's not going to be easy. I'm just going to go ahead and start right now with some of the things I've already said. I'm going to say, let's say UFOs, ghosts, strange disappearances, like there was this this Catholic priest that wandered out in the desert or something and never came back. That was a weird one. Who, the guy that jumped off the airplane, I forget his name, with $1 million. He was a strange disappearance. Phenomena, strange earthly phenomena. Yeah, you might not think of this. It's just what's going through my head. If you got some interesting suggestions, I'll take them. Yeah, Bermuda Triangle, that's like a strange earthly phenomena, but that's a big one too, so we can definitely put that there. Bermuda Triangle, that's a good one. Like, what's that, the Antarctic hole? Yeah, the J.B. Cooper, Bruce, you got the guy that jumped off the airplane. Antarctic hole theory, you know, hole and UFOs, whatever, coming out of the top up there. Yeah, so we're talking about paranormal here. Area 51 that's more of in the UFOs, so probably the last two, these would just be in the UFOs. And also Bermuda Triangle, I think it's going to be in the earthly phenomenon, but we'll drill down, right? So I'm not going to get into political stuff here, Bruce, or horror flicks, Chuck. So this is all, you know, paranormal, like, you know, like people just, for example, I don't know if you ever saw that Arthur C. Clarke show, but he had some great stuff, like an engineered motor, actually, that dated back, you know, 100,000 years or something. Yeah, intradimensional travel or something. Time travel, maybe. These are kind of more science fiction-y, not so much paranormal, but I think they could all fit in. Yeah, Edgar Cayce, Bruce, is an interesting, and that's great. I'm glad you brought Edgar Cayce, because Edgar Cayce was a psychic. So psychic phenomena is the area that we're talking about here. Psychic phenomena. And in that topic, we've got a bunch of subtopics like, you know, ESP, telekinesis, psychokinesis, telepathy, that kind of thing. That's an ESP, psychic phenomenon. Now, Loretta, black holes are actually physics. They're actually stars in space that have collapsed, as far as I understand it. Yeah, spontaneous human combustion, that's a good one, SHC. Yeah, there, Michael Myers, that's actually a horror flick again there, Chuck. Spirit writing, yeah, that's a good one. For psychic surgery, yeah, I know the guy with the Arrigo, the guy with the rusty knife down in South America, I heard about that one. Very interesting. Spirit writing is like part of, because then you've got ghosts, you've got psychic phenomenon, and then you've got like automatic writing, right, which is part of actually I think a subcategory, not a big broader category. Laying on of hands has to do with religious practices of certain American Christian cults, right? Yeah, psychokinesis is going to come under psychic phenomenon. So let me start laying this out in I'm not sure if spontaneous human combustion is actually paranormal. I think it's more of a medical phenomena, right? I don't know. I have to look that up. Yeah, Bruce mentioned the Google idea wheels. That was interesting. So this is a start. I think there's more. If we go into psychic phenomena, we're talking about, telepathy. They actually taught us about psychic phenomena in junior high school in the science class. Psychokinesis is, I believe that's when you can move things with your mind, right? You can move things. Telekinesis, or is that telekinesis? Psychokinesis is getting thoughts from objects, and telekinesis is moving things with your mind. Anyways, all that stuff, that's under psychic phenomena. Anyway, it's weird, creepy, kooky stuff. So that's what actually, whether or not you like it or get turned on by it, the fact is there's tens and hundreds of thousands of people out there that really get into looking at stuff like this. So, and there's so much new material all the time, and I'm interested in it, so I figured, why don't I just go ahead and do something with this? So I'd like to go over to the Google keyword tool just for a minute and play around and see what that comes up with. And I'd also like to just search Google on some of these terms and see what we can see. Yeah, remote viewing, that's a really good one, Demon. Remote viewing, that's a very good addition and very interesting. It's also part of, I think it's part of psychic phenomena, right? So it's like, supposedly people can sit there and go into a trance and see things that happen on the other side of the world just by thinking about it. That's what remote viewing is. Paranormal, past lives, that's a good one, Demon. Past lives. I'm not sure if that's also part of psychic phenomena. We could get all into the demonic possession and all that stuff, but I'm not going to get into all that right now. I don't want to offend anybody or whatever. It's all part of the same weird paranormal bag. So let's go over to Google. See if I can log in. Say what, Chuck? Okay, so I just really want to just search some of the main top terms and see what Google comes up with underneath of them. It's controversial, so that's why, topics like this get a lot of shares, they get a lot of comments because it's controversial. I could actually just go put articles about net neutrality out there and I'd get 1 million people sniping at me from both sides. I'm really not into doing the political thing right now, so I'm kind of more interested in just checking out interesting stuff. I really love UFO research too. It's really fascinating. Well, let's just put paranormal in and see what Google tells me about that. And I'm going to do it in the keyword tool, and I'm also going to search right on Google. I know this is supposed to be training for the software, right? So I hope nobody's disappointed that I'm not teaching you the features of the software, or rather I'm talking about actually putting together a real website for which we will use the software once we have some idea what we're going to be doing. As I just came up with this idea today, and just for you guys. So, but it is something that I want to do. So now that that movie is kind of, the first one I thought was, it was okay. Okay, so we could drill down into this. Google's mainly just showing us things related to that word, but now you can come down here, paranormal stories, activity, state. Let's go into the keyword tool and see what the wonderful keyword planner has to tell us. When you search in Google, it's mainly is following that algorithm based on keywords. As much as they try to convince you that they're trying to guess what you're trying to look for, I think it's still kind of a keyword game. So keyword and group ideas, let's just start with paranormal. All locations, English, get ideas. Okay, now a lot of this that they're coming up with here has to do with the movie Paranormal Activity, which, yeah, for me it was, a movie. So I'm not really looking to do much with that movie. So here we've got, the only thing that gives us anything on this word here is it says ghost. So obviously, right, ghost. Let's try, let's go to keyword ideas and just see the ideas by themselves. Not really much of a help here with that particular word, although I could try to capitalize on the word paranormal itself. You see how much search there is for this word paranormal activity. And of course I said the reason for that is because of that movie, of that title. There's a lot of searches on that term though. So, and very low competition, which means that people are not making money, on that term, but there are a lot of people looking for it. In a way, that's kind of what I'm looking for here, guys, because I'm not looking for a lot of, I'm not looking to go ahead and, quote, monetize this thing right away. What I'm trying to do here, I want to create something that people search for to get to. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do. Well, this is not bad at all, actually. It's rather encouraging. I feel like I might have actually made a good decision based on what I'm seeing here in Google Keyword Planner, because I didn't research this before I did this. I just jumped in. Well, it's kind of interesting to see that the word paranormal itself has 135,000 searches per month with nobody, relatively nobody is paying for that word either. So I could even use AdWords and get 17 cents a click to go to my website. That's not bad. Believe me, it's not bad. For mastering, I have to pay over $1.50 a click. So, and also down here you've got paranormal activity, 368,000 searches a month with low competition. The bid's a little higher. There's a little more money in that term. Paranormal activities. Paranormal Activity 2 is actually, again, the movie. There was a sequel, and that's actually, I'm finding this quite encouraging. So even without starting to drill down yet into the top level topics, just the name itself actually has quite a bit of searches related to it. I could have been really smart and got myself a used domain, but I just jumped in. There's a lot of real estate available in that name, in that term. Let me try my actual term, beyond paranormal. Not very good. So, you know, the term itself of my domain name is not a good search, but that's okay because, in fact, Google has, you know, they'll give you some props for having an exact match domain, but they also can take away. What Google will giveth can take away, you know, so they also will give you points against you for having an exact match domain name. So what I always try to do, what I started out with and what I ended up with, is that I pick a name that I like the name, right? I like Beyond Paranormal. That works for me. Similarly, if I talk about my other website, which is called groovephonic.com, that was for my music business, mastering and mixing, the music production. Now, Groovephonic doesn't have anything to do with, well, you know, you could imagine it has something to do with music, but when I started this out, you know, back in 2010, 2011, when I would search here at Google Keyword Tool and I put Groovephonic in there, and it would come up with stuff about carpentry, tongue and groove and stuff like that. And then after 6 months of really working that, it would come up with music terms. So I think I worked pretty hard to establish a brand, and that's really, I think, is what they want you to do. They want you to pick a name or pick a concept that really works and then build that as a brand, rather than saying, you know, picking a name that's like, you know, an exact match domain of 2, 3, or 4 words in a string, right? Because it's pretty easy for them to tell that you're trying to, it's like your domain has a sign on it that says, I'm trying to get traffic by being an exact match. And it may very well work in some cases. I think it depends on the niche, but I do think that the paradigm that we're moving towards is more brand and identity. And you can attach to that in other ways on the internet other than just by your website. There are certain databases that you can put your business in online, and I'll do a unit on that later. But you kind of register your business in different databases. Google looks at those for, not sure if it's citations or whatever, but you can get brownie points with Google by doing a lot of things other than just trying to game the keywords, right? Okay, so let's look at a few other things. Let's look at my top level. Let's start with ghosts, the heck, and just see what kind of things that they will come up with for that. Ghost videos, very high. A lot of people searching that. Ghosts caught on camera, that's good. Photos of ghosts. So there's quite, you know, basically describing what it is they're going to see when they get to that page. So we can remember that. Let's try, how about, you know, out-of-body experience? You know, that's a good one. Finally, come up with meditation for that. Interesting. I'll tell you what, I'm going to fire up Keyworkz now. And to be honest, I'm not having the easiest time here with Google. I don't really like the keyword planner as much as I used to like the keyword tool. So I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a new project in Keyworkz. and it's going to be called Beyond Paranormal. And I'm going to grab that website, which I've already programmed in, and then I will save the settings. So now I'm targeting this website with Keyworkz. I'm not happy with what the keyword planner was getting me. I didn't spend much time on it, but I don't want to waste your time by trying to beat a dead horse that's not really working, so to speak. So as you can see, I've got this website set up in WordPress. It's brand new. I haven't really done anything with it yet. I did install the Silo Factory. Now, the first thing you need to do in any new WordPress site, in case you have forgotten or you didn't know this, is that you have to go to the, I believe it's the writing page. Brain fart. That's the reading page. No, sorry, it's the permalinks page. Go to the permalinks page, select post name, right there, and save changes. We went over this last time. You need to do that so that your URLs are friendly URLs. So that when you do create content, it's going to come up with that URL looking good rather than saying P equals 29 or whatever. I'm going to start adding some of my keywords now, like, let's see. I'll start with, no, I want to start with ghosts, UFOs, earthly phenomena, what else we've got on our list? Psychic phenomena. Okay, strange. I'm not really satisfied that I've created my list yet, so let me think about this. Probably I'll do some work on this during the week, so we'll just go ahead and try to move forward the best we can for now without really being complete. Let's see, space messages. You know, lately I've been seeing some things about you know, signals that they picked up from space. Alien abductions, maybe. That's probably go under UFOs. It's okay, so I can rearrange this. You guys with me so far? Yeah, Paula, that's a good one. That probably go under ghosts. Okay. How about bizarre animals? There's a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, X-Files. Secret. Of course, we could. You know, it's a lot of like secret government experiments, right? Are they real? I don't know. What else? I want to have one section here that just says paranormal, you know, paranormal this, paranormal that. So I think I'm going to use the Explorer over here, and I'm just going to put the word paranormal, and I'm going to explore all of them. You may have noticed now we have the separate sources up here. You can search YouTube and Amazon now, as well as Google, Bing, and Yahoo. So let's go ahead and let her rip. See what we come up with. Let it go for a little while. There's a lot of good stuff here. Okay, so I'm paranormal gadgets. I didn't see that one, but okay, paranormal videos, stories. We already saw that in Google before. News, activity, movies, paranormal ghost videos, paranormal research. How about paranormal documentary? We can curate some stuff under that. So I was very happy to see that the search volume is pretty decent on term, maybe not this one, but on a lot of terms related to paranormal. Paranormal books. I think that's enough, so I'm going to just go save to hierarchy and click execute. And it takes a second, but they all get saved now. So now if I go back to the project tab, you see that I have all these paranormal keywords that I just got. And you can see that if I mouse over the keywords, it has also saved the search volume and the other data that it got from SEMrush. So Beyond Paranormal is obviously the name of the site, so I'm going to use this for the section that will contain all my topics that have the word paranormal in it. I'm not sure if I can drag them all at once. Let me see if I can do that. Yes, indeed. So you see what I did? I just dragged them all at once up underneath here, and now I'm just going to, not sure if I can make them all child. I guess I have to do that individually. But now I'm making them all child objects of this top level keyword here, and I'm going to save the silo. And now that silo is saved. Probably I'll make this one a page, and these underneath here will be categories, because as a category I'm going to be able to put content underneath each one of these. So then I can just also import those into ICC Express, which I'll do when I do the executing. And then I'll be able to get curated content from these keywords. Paranormal books also would be made a child object of that. Now, let's go over here and see if we can get us some things for ghosts over here. Do the same thing in the Explorer. Not too many, not all of them are related to the type of thing that we're looking for. We will see the ones that are. I could also be saving this entire list of keywords for later to work with. All you would do in that case, you just select all, save for later, and execute. And then you'll see them one by one getting saved to your database. You could come later and filter them. You can open them in the other filter page and check everything out. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, ghost stories, ghost ships, that's a good one. Ghost sightings, ghost stories for kids, maybe. Ghost stories true is good, but true ghost stories is the way I would have that. It's probably later in the list. Let's see, ghost caught on camera, we saw that one. Pictures of ghosts, even real pictures of ghosts. Ghost caught on tape. Yeah, Demon, you know, I was really surprised to see how much real estate is still available in terms of domain names in this topic area. So what do we got? We got a few. Okay, let's... I mean, I can think of a few that I'm not even seeing here, but we will take these and we'll save them to the hierarchy like this. And back to the project, and now we've got these ghost things. I'm holding down the control key and selecting multiple. By doing that, I can drag them all up to there. And now I can make them child objects of the top level. I could also drag them around into the order that I want to. But whatever you do, just remember to save that silo. And you see the red button pops up. And it goes through each one and saves everything in the right order for you. Okay, great. So we're building a pretty cool little silo, I think. At some point, I'm going to go through and use the capitalize function. Let's keep going now. I'm going to go and try and get some stuff for UFO now. UFOs, I guess UFOs. UFOs. Well, there's some good stuff. Good stuff here. But we're not really going to be focusing so much on UFOs for this site because it is more paranormal. I'm not sure if, well, UFOs are they're kind of paranormal, but they're kind of their own thing. But we'll have a section on that, definitely. Just not, focused on it. But like, here's some good ones. UFOs on the moon, UFOs in the Bible, UFOs and aliens, UFOs videos, UFO sightings, UFO stories, what else we got? I mean, some of these would be good if I really knew I could get content about, like, for example, chasing UFOs. That's a great term, but where am I going to get the content? Like, do I know of somebody that's chasing UFOs that I could tell their story? It would be great if I could do that, but I don't really know anybody that's chasing UFOs right now, so I'm not going to pick that one. UFOs secret history, I happen to know a little bit about that, so that'll be interesting. UFOs best evidence, that's decent. UFOs book. At some point, after I get some traffic, I will try to sell them something. But okay, here we got a question coming in from Susan. She says, Hugh, I'm confused. How are you building silos when you're just making a list of keywords to use? I thought silos were a way to reorganize existing blog posts on a site. I'm glad you asked that question, Susan. Because if you have not seen this software in action yet, then that's probably why you asked that question, because this software will build this website once I'm done making the list. Right? That's what it does. So I've selected those, and I'm going to save them to my hierarchy. And Nadiri has a question for me. How did I determine the competition metrics? You're talking about this stuff right here, right? Well, this is data that gets downloaded from SEMrush. Are you familiar with that? Because I've gone over that before. Over here in your settings, there's a tab for SEMrush. And the subscription to SEMrush is really inexpensive. It's like $15 a month for the data only, just to get the data. And then you can get the data. If you don't have SEMrush, this part will not populate with data. Right? Okay, so back to my project. I've got all these UFO keywords now. So I'm going to click, actually going to click Control or Shift to multiple select. And then I'm going to go ahead and drag them up under UFOs. And I'll start making them child objects. Kind of funny how that bounces around. I should do something about that. And so now those are going to become the subcategories on my blog once I execute this silo on my blog. Okay, now I've got a paranormal section right at the front. I've got a ghost section. I've got UFOs. And I haven't done these other ones yet. But you can see the big red save silo has come up. So I'm going to go ahead and save that silo. And then I could go through all the rest of this stuff. Now, Ron Mathwell has a good question here. If I had trouble, you say you had some trouble and you wanted to know if I was going to put pages in. What I'll probably do is put pages on the top level, like this, and select page, and select page for the top level, and I'll probably keep the subsections as categories. I'll put category plus, and that way it's going to automatically make a content for that keyword under that category when you do this. If you add the content via the C button this way, then it will automatically be put on the site at the same time that you do that. We're almost at the top of the hour, and this is taking a long time now. I mean, if you guys want me to, I can keep going and going and going, or we can just, kind of finish this part and then continue next time. I might try to do this earthly phenomena. Now I can take a shortcut here where it says earth, any one of these items, and I can click the E button here, and it will take me to the Explorer field, so I don't have to actually go over there and type everything in and stuff. From anywhere in the program, you can click the E icon to go ahead and just explore that. And there's very little data for these terms, as obviously people aren't really competing for it. It's okay. You see some. Those aren't really related to the term, so it's probably not even a good term. So I may even just forget that. I might even just delete that one. That one's not going to help me. So I'll go ahead and delete that. Psychic phenomena. No, that's going to have a good deal of stuff though. So let's try that. Just click on the E, and it's going to automatically do the search for me. There's a lot of kind of stupid keywords coming up too. It's kind of cool to get the YouTube keywords because you get the ideas of some videos that you might be able to get your hands on. Now that's not really a good term. Well, what if I try like ESP? Try that one. Now it's looking for ESPN. No, that's not going to work for me. That's correct, Gainer, because the search volume competition in CPC is only available via Google AdWords. Okay? Now we used to have the program basically hack into AdWords to get that data, and I think there are some programs that still do that, even though it's against Google's terms of service to do it. And they change their codes every week, so it makes the programmer crazy to try and keep up with it. So we just kind of stopped trying to hack Google for its data, and I've discovered that SEMrush provides almost exactly the same data that Google AdWords provides. It's just that you've got to pay a little bit for it. So it's either you're going to break the rules and scrape data, or you're going to pay a little bit and get that data. So I opted to stay on the straight and narrow with Google about that. You will find other programs that scrape, though. Okay, let's just take a look. Be helpful to have a little bit better filters in this section, but it's basically just telling us everything that these 5 search engines will spit out about this term. Not that great. No, you could not do that, Demon. You cannot scrape in a foreign language against Google and get keyword tool data. Absolutely impossible. You have to program on Google Keyword Planner and hack in and get the data. That's how it's done. Mike got in late. Mike says, do I have to subscribe to SEMrush to use Icc Key Works? No, you do not. In fact, I pretty much spent the whole beginning of this lesson, not using any software, and then I just started adding the keywords by hand. And even if you added them from here, you don't need SEMrush because SEMrush provides this data, these 3 columns here. Because there is no other way to get that data. It doesn't grow on trees, folks, and Google has tightened up on that data. Summer of 2013, they destroyed the Google keyword tool, which was the best thing that we had to work with. It's been gone for a long, long time. And the only way that you can get that data now is, like I said, either by hacking Google AdWords or paying some other company. And the other companies are way more expensive, way more expensive. Like Majestic is like $500 a month or something for that, right? Yes, there's an SEMrush API in Keyworkz, like I just showed you. Just go over to the settings page here, right under accounts, SEMrush, you put in your API key, bada bing, bada boom, you're ready to go. It eliminates the need to use Keyword Planner in its all-in-one solution. That's right, Gainer. You got it. You got it. I love it when people get it. That is so great. Okay, awesome, guys. I don't really want to talk about Market Samurai, Kevin. I mean, it's cool. I think that's one of the ones that hacks Google for data, or else they pay them a huge amount for it. I'm not sure what. It just depends on what you like. You can't create silos with Market Samurai that I know of, but you can do that here. I'm glad you like it, Gainer. That's cool, man. I love having positive people around, so that's awesome. Okay, so here we go. Now, you know, to really do this right, I probably won't get it all done today, but I'm going to show you something. Before I go, I'm going to add some psychic phenomena. I'm going to do it by hand. Okay, so I'm going to go. ESP will be my first one. And it's coming down at the bottom here. But I'm just going to type them in, and then we'll move it, right? So I'm going to go. Let's see, I can actually hide this part and we'll see more. That's better. Okay. That's wrong. Psychokinesis. Add. Telekinesis. Psychometry. All right, awesome, Mike. Mike's all about silos, baby. Yeah, so if you do need to go to SEMrush and get that, make sure you find the $15 API offer. Don't go for the $69 offer. You don't need that. There's a $15 API. If you can find it, it's in there. My link is supposed to go to that. So I'm going to start moving this stuff under psychic phenomena. I could do it all at once. I'm just doing it by one by one, and then I'm going to make it a child object like this. That's right, the $15 monthly for the SEMrush API, and it's not even an affiliate link. It's just get the data if you want it, you know. What else we got? ESP. What's it called when they start fires, right? Fire starters. Pyrokinesis or something. I forget. There's a lot of weird stuff. So, oops. Go away. What else? Space messages. Hotties. Pyromania, those are crazy people that light fires, not people that do it with their brain, with their mind, you know, like that movie Firestarter by Stephen King. Okay, some of these I'm going to basically just delete them right now. Just to keep it simple for the time being. And we'll do what we can do. So I'm going to keep you on for a little while more because I want to show you where this is going. Let me just get rid of some of this stuff to make it a little more simple for the time being. You can use ICC Keyworkz without SEMrush, folks. only if you want to have that data. You can get the keywords from the Explorer, just like I showed you. You can build your key, you can type them in, you can import them from a flat file, and Nadiri, what's even better, you can go to the keyword planner and you can export the data from Google and import it right into this program. Right here, you just import a CSV from AdWords, okay? And then you don't even have to worry about anything. You got it all. This program has it all, folks. Go away. Okay, great. Pyrokinesis. That was that. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. So let me go ahead and put that one under here. And we'll make that okay, great. So the thing that you probably notice by now is that I haven't made any content yet. So let me get rid of this. I don't want to take your time and make a lot of content now because it would take forever. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these all to Category Plus real quick. I'm going to be adding some stuff to the program soon. But in the meantime, you're going to do it one by one. Be nice if you could just sort of do it all in one shot. So I definitely intend to do some updating on the program soon. In the meantime, I'm just getting it all done. You can also do this one section at a time on your website, but I'm kind of doing the whole thing once. Now, by putting a plus sign at the end of the category, that means it's going to make a post under that category. The post is not going to have anything in it, though, except the name of the keyword, unless I were to go through and create content with the content creator. But the thing is, since it's a category, I'm going to be able to curate my content with ICC Express. I'm going to be able to curate my content with ICC Express. Yes, I did, Mike. I'm very proud to say, yes, I created these programs. Awesome. Okay, so I've got this all set up now. Let me make this one a page. So what we're going to have is all the top level ones are going to be pages. If I wanted to, I could make links from that page, and I could put content, but I don't want to take your time too much today since it's already been an hour. I'm going to go ahead and hopefully zap this to my blog. Before I do that, though, I want to do this little capitalization thing because they're all lowercase except the ones I typed in. The UFOs are going to get capitalized. That's not great, but that is the result of what we have now. So I've capitalized everything. I'm going to save that silo. And now if I were really going to continue, I should do this for real, but it's too much time for you guys. So what I would do is, create another section where it says like about us, contact us, site map, all that kind of stuff. It would be another section just like this, but I'm not going to do that today. What I will do, and hopefully it works, this completely untested blog. I'm going to create the categories and menus here. And I'm going to import the keywords into my ICC Express profile, okay? So now, fingers crossed, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and execute this. Now, if we look at the blog now, you see this is what's on it now. I'm not sure about the menu of this theme, if the menu will appear, so we'll see, because this is a brand new theme. Yeah, right, Mike, the ancillary pages, you got it. Thanks for that link, Demon. We'll put that out in a minute. But in the meantime, so this is what we have. So I'm going to go ahead and execute this now. Fingers crossed. And here we go. I just used the most recent theme that they put, 2015, you know, and it's optimized for mobile. Oh golly, look at that. Okay, so it appears to have worked. Now before we even look at the blog, we can see here, because what you see in this window and what you see in this window reflect what exists on your blog. And when you see the green categories, that means it's matching a category on your blog. So let's go look at the blog now. Okay, now you can see that it did work. And this is how the menus work over on this one. Okay? All right. Yeah, baby. Now if I had had time to put the content in, you would even be blown away even more. See, we've got, now these are posts. As you know, the way WordPress does is it puts the latest posts on the front of your blog. So this is actually a post. You see recent posts over here, and it's in Psychic Phenomena. That was the last one that got done, right? So that is also a page. Now, Psychic Phenomena is a page, but underneath that we also have categories. We have this category for ESP, and we have a post for ESP now. If I'd had time to put content, it would have a video or something. You know, trying to keep it quick for you. I don't want to keep you here for hours and hours, but these are now category pages under which we can curate. Before you go, let me just show you the concept, because this is the important concept to understand. Now, if I run ICC Express, okay, so I'm running ICC Express now, and I'm going to go here, I'm going to select my Beyond Paranormal profile, and I will go to, first of all, I want to see if my import worked. I hope it did. Sometimes things don't work, so we'll see. Now, you notice I'm going to number 2, curation sources, profile source connections. Now, if I click only connected objects, you're going to see now all those keywords that I just created in Keyworkz are now available to my profile in ICC Express. You see? The profile on the left selected, the keywords on the right are attached, the ones in green. If I uncheck this, you'll see all the other keywords too, but you'll also see the ones that we just imported, all about UFOs and all that. So what that means is now I can go to my blog curation and bookmarking section, and really what I should do first though is go over here and pick a topic. So what we do is I'll select my profile, and I'm going to go on my keyword list over here, and I'm going to find something weird like paranormal videos, or let's find a better one. How about ghosts caught on camera? Okay, now I'm going to save that to my profile. And now I go back to blog curation, and you'll notice right away, ghosts caught on camera now is the selected, ghosts caught on camera is now the selected category. And these are the categories on my blog, right? And remember, we just made all those categories with Keyworkz. So now ICC Express can grab that exact same category, and I can go, I can open up my video browser, and the keyword that will now search on YouTube is ghosts caught on camera. And look at them all. Look at all this content that's available to me. And I'm going to pick one, real ghosts caught on camera. If I pick the blue T and click that, it's going to create a fully formatted posts for me. with the video in the middle. Now it says write something here. But I'm going to change that like, I'm scared to death about ghosts caught on camera, and especially real ghosts caught on camera. I know this is definitely over optimizing the keyword, but you would want to create yourself a little article, spend a little time watching the video, and write something how it makes you feel or whatever. I'm not going to take the time to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and post that right now. Before I do that, I will change this term, this title. Have you ever seen a ghost caught on camera? Check this out. So that's, your provocative viral headline, right? So now we post. Now, if I had a Facebook page that was about Beyond Paranormal, which I will, I would select it here and then schedule this post to get bookmarked later. But I don't have that yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and post it. I'm not sure if the server time will be synced. We will find out. So I'm making that post, and now I'm going to go to the blog. And you see I just created that post. Now it's on the blog with nice content. It's under the category. So if I go to Ghost Caught on Camera, then this is the category, but you'll see that we already have this post under that category. So that's the idea, is that now that you have the website set up, you just get the content that relates to that keyword and stick it under that category. So you just fill up your categories with content. Okay, so that really was the demonstration that I wanted to show you. So how you can go from from building your list to actually having a real website and then having content under that website fairly easily as well. I think this might not be published yet. It's what we have, what we call the time sync issue with the software, because the server is probably in Washington or something, and the software thinks it's 9 p.m. and the server thinks it's 6 p.m. So we told it to publish the page at 9 p.m. and it says, okay, I will, but that's 3 hours later from now. That's how that works. That's why we recommend the time sync plugin with the software. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this demonstration. Is there anything else that I can answer for you? Okay, we got some questions coming in. Great, great, great. Let me get these questions. Good question. K. Barter, can this also be executed on an established blog or website? Yeah, I did not actually go over that. Let me just show you really quickly how to do that. When you run ICC Keyworkz, obviously this here is like a full website, right? Or it's, it's a pretty full-figure website here with all this stuff in here. So you wouldn't want to go and drop all of this stuff on an existing website, right? So what you want to do is sort of use a little bit of surgical precision with that. What you're going to do is you're going to go like, let me see if I can find, let's say if I just go a new project, and now I want to do something about alien abduction. So it starts me with that term, and so let's say I want to add gray aliens, blonde alien. We got all these different weird stuff out there, government aliens, whatever. And then we're going to go ahead and make those child at the top save the silo. I'm going to make them all pages just to prove a point to you. And then over here I'm going to create add to existing silos. Okay, K Barger, add to existing silos. Now I'm going to execute, and with any luck it won't destroy the website. I'm just kidding. With any luck, that should have now added a new mini silo to my existing website. So let's take a look. Okay, so now we have everything that I did before, plus we now have the alien abduction that I just created, right? You see that? Okay, so that's how you add. You add a mini silo to to an existing website as you select add to existing silos. Okay, that's how you do that. Now let me go catch the other questions we got here. Paulette, where can we find the old bi-monthly trainings? Your best bet is to subscribe to my YouTube channel, folks. I can give you a bunch of links, but they're all on my YouTube channel. I'm going to type in the chat right now. Alrighty, I just put my YouTube channel into the chat box, so you should all have that. Just go there and subscribe, and you will get all the trainings that I do for the public and for all these, not the ones for my mentoring students, but for anything that I publish, you'll get access to. And yes, Access ITX. You wanted to get a link to this. Yeah, you'll receive the replay. I'll send you a link out after the replay gets posted. F. Fernandez says, I'm impressed with what ICC Keyworkz can do. Looks like I've not even touched the surface. And I think that's right. I don't think anybody's really touched the surface of what this thing can do yet. It's so versatile. A part of it is just getting to know what it can do. Once you do understand all the tools that you have between ICC Keyworkz, ICC Express, and even some of our other tools, you know, you'll be just blown away by all the things that you're able to do. Okay, guys, before I go, what I can do, I think I did this last time, and just in case you want to pick up Keyworkz and you don't have it, just go to this keyworkz.com for developer license and keyworkz.com/single-special.html for a lower price version of it for you, just in case you didn't have it and you want it. Okay, couple more questions. When we put the silo plugin on an existing site, Kevin asked, does it check what is already there and interlink all the existing pages properly? No, it does not, Kevin. That is one thing that it does not do. It's mainly just a conduit for commands that we send it via Keyworkz. Okay? Gainer asked me, post and child categories should contain the parent keyword for the correct linking structure. I don't think with WordPress you don't have to worry about that so much because WordPress manages most of the inner linking for you, unless you're creating what I call a deep linking silo, which we didn't talk about today. Okay? Nadiri wants to know how many sites we can use with ICC Keyworkz. I think that depends on your license level, and I believe if you have the developer license, it's 100 blogs per installation, and you get 50 installations. So I mean, that's 5,000 blogs or something. If you get the least expensive version, I think you can have 10 blogs managed in your one install. Kevin, are the pages that are set up by Keyworkz interlinked on the site? Yes, they are. And that's the beauty. And we haven't started even to scratch the surface yet of how you can do that with Keyworkz. And we'll get into some of that next time. Because I'll tell you what, I'm not going to really push forward with this website without you guys, okay? I'm just going to do it. So you'll see everything that I do on this site. This is for you guys. Demon, I have the domain magicianscafe.com that I'm setting up to explain proxies, alternate uses for WordPress plugins, etc. This will be a great tool for creating structure and content. I absolutely agree with you. That's a great name too. It doesn't sound much like it's about plugins and stuff, but like I said at the beginning of this training, I don't think it matters so much that you need an exact match. You can create your own brand, and I think they like that. Yeah, sure, Nadiri. Let me get that for you once again. It's http://ICC Keyworkz.com/single-special.html. And for the developer license, which is like, it's a little bit more expensive, but like I said, I mean, you got 5,000 blogs you can manage with it, and you can use it for with your VAs and everything. That's available at the root domain, which is icckeyworks.com. Right, Gainer, I guess you could say it's the pro version. Yeah, it's the professional version, the developer license. Any more questions, guys? I'm all ears. I'm pretty sure I've gotten everybody's questions so far. If I missed your question, let me know. Kevin says, so we should probably clean an existing site up completely and then reinstall the menu via Keyworkz. I might suggest that, or just experiment. You know, I mean, I don't think you can destroy anything if you, if you add to your existing silo. You're just going to have another menu entry, right? Oh, okay, I missed Susan's question. Hold on, guys, I'm going to get to all your questions. Let me see what Susan's question was. Susan says, I bought this months ago but haven't used it at all yet. I just happened to see your email about the webinar and I thought I'd watch. I guess I better log in one of these days and start going through the training. Is there training for how to style an existing website with several years of blog content? That is something you probably would have to do manually, Susan. Keyworkz and Silo Factory is not it's not something that goes up and gets you all cleaned up from stuff you did before. It's mainly more for designing things either as an addition to something that already exists or as a new foundation, right? Okay. Let's see. Right, and I think I just sort of answered Kevin that same question. Nindiri wants to know, how can we monetize our sites? Well, yeah, I did kind of touch on that at the beginning of the training today, and I think that I think that people worry way too much about monetizing and not so much about creating a viable property. And that's what you need to do. You need to create a viable property. And you have to have a strategy for that. And that is kind of what this is all about. We're creating a strategy to create a foundation from which we can generate lots of content which is going to bring people to the site. Now, I could go and monetize it, quote unquote. I could put ads on the site right now or plugins and stuff. I promise you I'm not going to get a penny until I have copious amounts of traffic on this website. So that's what I'm going for. I'm not going for money right now. I'm going for traffic, and I'm also not really going to go for paying for traffic. I'm going to go for getting traffic by putting interesting content. And we've already done some research about that today. We've seen some stuff about that. Telepathic consulting, that's a good one. I think I'll hang my shingle for that. Sometimes I think that's what the customer needs. Telepathic consulting. Let's see what other things we got. Mike wanted to know where he could get ICC Express. Okay, so ICC Express is at iccexpress.net. Put that in for you. iccexpress.net, and that again is for the developer edition. I do believe there's a cheaper version of it. I don't have the cheaper link with me right now. I do recommend that you get the developer edition anyway. It's kind of a bit more powerful. The same program, more power. As my martial arts teacher used to say, more power. Yeah, gang, you better go dig that up. Let's see. I think I've got all the questions now. Wow, Ron's got 87 sites he's got to set up from scratch. This will help you definitely. You could do 10 of them in a day with Keyworkz. Awesome. Awesome, Mike. Answer the yeah, okay. Demon wanted me to share the SEMrush API link that he shared with us. So let me get that. The link is actually inside of the software too, but here it is. And there's a weird thing about it. You have to be either logged in or logged out to their website to see that link. It's a really weird thing how they have it set up. Let's see what else we got in the questions over here. Gainer wants to know if there are any limitations to themes. Well, themes don't really limit your styling of the website, because as you create content, it's all going to exist in its own URL. And the theme is just a presentation layer, right? But you do want to have a theme that goes well with your content topics, right? And that's going to be a fun thing for me, is picking a theme for this paranormal thing that I'm doing here. So that's going to be something fun. There's a lot of really amazing themes and stuff out there. Yes, Access ITX. ICC Keyworkz will work with any WP compliant theme. The only thing that if they have a weird programming for the menu slot, the main menu slot, the menu might not appear on the page, or it might appear in a weird place. If it doesn't appear on the page, you go into the menu section of WP admin and you select the Silo Factory menu that we created, and you select the checkbox for primary menu, and you save that. Icc, nice name, not sure how to pronounce that. Does one need to drip the content over time? Well, I think one just needs to be natural about it. You know, I don't really do anything with auto posting, right? I don't have robots that post content for me. So I'm not worried about whether I look natural or not, because I'm going to put stuff out there when I think I want to put stuff out there. I'm not going to schedule 20 pieces of content to all be released at the same time either. You know, so I guess the answer to that is yes. Obviously, it looks more natural to Google if you're, you know, quote unquote dripping the content. But I mean, that's just, what does a newspaper do? I mean, newspapers are going the way of the dinosaur, but just, you know, like news websites or whatever, every day there's more news. Now, if you have hundreds of reporters creating new stories for you every day, then you can post hundreds of stories every day like newspapers do. But if you're a blog and you're a blogger, chances are you're only going to have 1 or 2 ideas a day at the max, right, to be natural. And again, my paradigm is really not about having robots creating content. I like to find cool content and put it out there. Right, okay. Okay then, do we have any more questions for today? Not seeing anything. Thinking we might have come to the end of our momentum for today. Hey, my pleasure. Category ideas for local chiropractic blog. I know I had a hard enough time coming up with paranormal ideas today, Kate, so I think it's a little bit late in the game today to attack that, but you know, hit us up in the Facebook group. We'll attack that, okay? No, Mike, I suggest that you subscribe to my YouTube channel to get these. I may or may not post all the members. I'm building a new member area for all our paid subscribers. So yeah, all this stuff will be in there. But as of now, you can get access to all these recordings from my YouTube channel. All you have to do is subscribe. And I have pasted it once, and I will paste it again because I'm that kind of guy. There you go. I just gave you the link again for my YouTube channel. So if you stay subscribed to my YouTube channel, you're always going to get all these trainings. But I still want you to show up live, okay? Because that's what makes it good, and that's what makes it not only better for me, but better for you too, because I know what you need to have answered and stuff like that. Okay? All righty then. Mike here, he says, "You're a good man. I don't care what they say about you." Yeah, that's funny. Did you ever watch F Troop? It was like A. Garner. It's like, "You're not as dumb as everybody says." That's a good one. Anyway. Okay, great, awesome, guys. So it's been real fun. I think it's been a good session. I wish we could do more quickly, but you know, it's the way it goes, right? And looking forward to the next one for sure. And we have another one next week, which is not so much about the software, but more about just curating. So that's a whole different webinar. You're all welcome to join that too. And can get in touch with me if you need the link to that. Reach out to me and I'll make sure you get it. Okay, guys, so great. Have a great night, and you know where to reach me if you need me. It's been a pleasure, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you out, and bye-bye.